What's up, YouTube? For the past week, I've been trying to come up with some information regarding a story that I think deserves to be told. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you the tale of dialed up games. So last week there was a duos tournament, and this week there was also a quads tournament. During the duos tournament, they banned several competing teams for cheating, which originally was going to be an overall video about how cheaters are ruining Warzone, and Call of Duty needs to get their act together and figure out exactly what needs to be done about the hacking problem. But given the developments of this quads tourney that took place this weekend, I felt the need to make this video kind of shining a light on the practices of some of these smaller tournaments and the things that they do, in my opinion, and I have some evidence that may help you form your own opinion on preying on people's desire to compete, and also the easiness it is to take advantage of people who don't know any better or see a scammer when it's presented to them right in front of their face. But this is the scoreboard from their last quads tournament from this weekend. Now, if you notice, the first place team had 283 points according to this scoreboard. Now, I've spoken to several people that were in the tournaments, and there were over 10 teams banned for posting scores higher, some significantly higher than 283. It's my belief that this company banned the majority, I can't say all, but the majority of those teams because they did too well. They were in a different league than what Dialed Up is shooting for their customers. And so those teams were subsequently banned. I have interviewed several participants in the tournament, some of which who were banned, and then others who were not. But the prize for this week was, I believe, $3,500. This particular person was one of the people who was banned. If you take a look at this tweet, he says, "So we missed out on $600 each because my fourth player was so-called KD tanking. The same guy I picked up 4 hours before the tournament, and also the same guy whose KD went down from a 3.27 to a 3.26 just before the tournament started, and they were disqualified for that." Now, I don't know his team's exact score because, for whatever reason, Dialed Up Games refuses to declare who the winners are by their username. They only go by what team they were in, and to me that seems very suspicious. They never talk about the people that were in the team. They never discuss the individual members or what their scores were. And if you go to their rules page and you sit here and you look and see, they do have a requirement to stream, but they only require one person out of the team to stream. They usually do kill races, so you've got their points. But the thing that gets me is these rules. Now, during the duos tournament, crossplay did not have to be enabled. That has since changed, but now we have no reverse boosting. That wasn't on there last week. No alt accounts. Cannot include another tournament in stream title. There was one high-ranking team that messed up a stream title and accidentally put part of another competition from prior in the day in their stream title, and he was disqualified and cheated out of the $3,500 prize, split between his teammates, because he had part of another tournament's user or name in his stream title. So if we go back and go over some of Rusher's tweets, you've got a lot of circumstantial information here, but at the same time, if you put the pieces together, I'll let you figure it out for yourself. But in my opinion, it's very suspicious and screams a scam to me. They blocked him after he tried to communicate with them. He tried to get a hold of them and speak to them. They refused to talk to him. They blocked him. But do a little bit of digging, and you come to kind of see that there's not exactly a unified front when it comes to people enjoying their tournaments or their games. You have several people down here, as for example, even though you'll probably just be disqualified and get caught for cheating, even if you've done nothing wrong. We'll read the replies. They don't pay out. Dialed up's response, if someone's DQ'd for a dial up event, there has to be a reason for it. That is in fact a lie. And I can show you some screenshots that a friend of mine posted of him speaking to one of the admins of the actual organization after he and his team was disqualified and given literally no reason or explanation as to why he was disqualified and not eligible for the cash prize. Now, keep in mind, this particular person won the duos tournament last week, and this week he is disqualified. Now, he did win after several teams during the duos tournament were banned for cheating, which there was video evidence of, and it is on Twitch, a clip of one of the winning teams cheating later on and got caught doing it. So this person and his team won the duos tournament and then was disqualified from the quads tournament after placing a relatively high score, higher than what is on their actual website for the team that won, Team EU, at 283 points. Their score, I believe, was 291 points, and they were disqualified for it. So if we go to the screenshots between this competitor and one of the staff members, we have here, we're letting you know that your team, Rat Exterminators, has been disqualified for the following reasons: suspected misconduct. Now, that was the first accusation, to which Tap has replied, what misconduct? He's generally curious about what happened. During the stream, he talked up the company and how great they were because he did win last week's. And the staff member comes back and says, we've reviewed your gameplay and from the event and found it to be suspicious. To which he asks, can I get a specific time so that I can look? He says, I'm in a meeting right now. I'll be with you ASAP. Now, next in the conversation, he says it should be about 15 minutes. We found several instances of suspect gameplay in your stream, and we're not comfortable placing Rat Exterminators. We do not discuss specific moments of gameplay. Sorry, but I can't say more. So I called up one of the members of the 10 plus disqualified teams and winner of the duos tournament a week ago and asked his opinion on the matter and what he actually had to say regarding the communication with staff. And this is what he had to say on the subject.
Hey, so as you already said, I'm one of the people who won the last week's duos tournament, more specifically Tap Tap Easy. So basically, during the announcement of this week, so the quads tournament that was going on, I was sent a message by one of the admins from Dialed Up that my team has been disqualified for misconduct. So then I asked the staff, I said, can I get an example of said misconduct? So Baby Davy, who was the admin messaging me at the time, he basically kept typing and erasing his message for about 20 minutes, giving me no decisive answer, before telling me that he's actually in a meeting with his team at the moment and that he's going to be back to me in about 15, 20 minutes. So, I waited there. After the meeting ended, he told me that the reason for my disqualification was due to the fact that my Twitch VOD looked suspect. And I quote, he said, looked suspect. So I said, okay, can I get a clip or, something more specific, maybe a timestamp or something so that I can review my footage? At this point, I was told that he cannot discuss further information with me. I responded to his baseless claims that myself and several members of the community reviewed my footage and found no such evidence. And without proof, I really felt like I was being unfairly prosecuted. Um, at this point, I was pretty much banned from everything to do with dialed up. So I was banned on my Twitter, I was banned on Discord. They banned my account from their friends list and everything, and pretty much I had no contact whatsoever with dialed up. I find the lack of examples and unprofessional treatment from staff to be highly suspicious, and I would extremely advise anyone to steer clear from any further tournaments or anything to do with dialed up altogether.
Now, I'm correct in saying that before, when you were initially contacted about the disqualification, you were immediately banned from the Discord just moments after you were given that message, correct?
Yeah, so that is correct. When the misconduct thing happened and I asked for proof, I was pretty much banned right away. I actually had to get several of my friends, community members to spam the staff in the Discord to unban me just so that I can, further talk about this. I was immediately rejected. And after waiting, several hours and several different people have tried to get me unbanned, they finally said, you know what, fine. And then the whole situation with, oh, actually, your Twitch VOD is suspect came about.
So it went from suspected misconduct to suspicion of cheating, basically from one side to the other, two different accusations, one right after the other.
Yeah, that is correct. Two different accusations, both with absolutely zero proof.
Now, if someone's disqualified from a tournament that involves that much money, you would think that they would explain the reasoning at minimum behind the disqualification. And they don't. They dance around it literally the entire time. Another person who was disqualified in the event said that they had a red flag pop up in their system. And I quote, "We have reviewed your stream and our system has given it a red flag. We will not discuss your banning with the public and we have refunded the other members of your team." To which he replies, "What red flag? What does that even mean?" If you want to go check my stream, we were together in all games. We split 2 and 2. Don't discuss it with the public. Discuss it with me. I have all the ears in the world to hear. To which he replies, "That is all we will say on the matter." The team was disqualified. To which he says, "That is all we will say on the matter. The team was disqualified due to being flagged by our system." Now, I can tell you this. Dowda Games is not affiliated in any way with Activision or Call of Duty. There is no possible way that they could have a system that red flags anything. Part of their review process is they take 24 hours and review the streamer's footage to see if they can find anything suspicious. Now, if you have 250 teams and only 24 hours to go over, let's say, one out of each of those members of the team's VODs on Twitch, that's just simply not enough time to go through and determine anything, first of all. Second of all, there's no possible way that they could have any kind of a system that pops up a flag. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they mean by flag. They're not affiliated with Twitch, or as far as being a partner or anything on Twitch. They are affiliated, but they're not part of the company. They're not part of Activision, and they're not part of Infinity Ward or Call of Duty or any of those companies. So how do they have a flag? Now, one of the other members of Rat Exterminators tried to get more information yet again. This time on the actual winning team. He says, "Hey, just wondering when Team EU checked in, because at the time, before I was banned from their Discord, me and 3 other members of the community scoured over the check-in page to see what members checked in from the winning team that took home the first place cash prize, and we could not find them. There was no one claiming to be Team EU at all in the check-in page, and yet they won the entire event and the $3,500 cash prize." Now, I can't go over, because according to Baby Davey and the staff of Dialed Up Games, they don't save anything, they don't take screenshots, And they also don't keep records of the winners of their tournaments, the people that entered their tournaments after it's over. Literally no records whatsoever. But according to the staff member here, we don't take screenshots, but he remembers. This was from the general chat. According to the staff, when asked, can you provide Team EU's check-in so we can verify who they were, or that they at least checked in, as that's part of the rules, they were told, here's the door. Now, I messaged beginning last week trying to find information on exactly what their anti-cheat system was, because according to Dialed Up Games, they have advanced ways of detecting people who are cheating and people who are breaking the rules. Now, while some of those may seem fairly self-evident, like checking COD tracker, what the age of the account is, what the wins are, anything like that, aside from manually reviewing each person's VOD to check for suspicious activity, as I said before, there's no possible way that they could have any kind of a flag or system in place to do so. When I pressed him to try and get more information on how exactly their system functions in order to detect people who are cheating, because in the Duos tournament, there were several people who were banned, one of which had been confirmed through video and clip on Twitch that they were cheating. All I got was the basic runaround. Now, I tried as much as I could to possibly press this person and get more information, and he progressively got more angry with me until eventually he basically told me to see myself to the door, which I was promptly banned because I was asking too many questions, and it obviously made him feel uncomfortable. After receiving the non-answer from how they actually detect people for cheating or possible misconduct and been given the runaround for a week, the Quads tournament came up and a new line of inquiry started. And that was, how can you explain the disqualified teams from the Quads tournament this week? And so many of them. I was told to DM, which I did, and these are the receipts from that. Says, why were placing or winning teams disqualified and then blocked from communicating with you or the chat without specific explanation as to why? When I invited him into a group call with several of the heads of the teams who were disqualified to discuss what had happened or to try and get an explanation from the company, I was politely told that we will decline, and then booted from the server and blocked, not only from Discord, but also on Twitter. I had been blocked from both for, in what my opinion is, asking too many questions, which comes full circle into my suspicion that this is most likely a company raking in $25 per person in 118 teams of quads. To me, when you put all this together, it just screams scam. And that's really sad to say, because I hate that the community has people like this in it. I think what's more important now is that be careful when you're going through and wanting to compete. Make sure you do your research on a company. Make sure you check who they are and where they come from. Check their credentials and go through and just verify for yourself before you drop your money. Another interesting thing is if you do a simple Reddit search for Dialed Up Games, you come across a couple very lengthy posts talking about how his organization won't be playing any Dialed Up Games Warzone matches ever again. They had claimed levels of security, again going back to the red flag that they don't have. Lengthy posts on Reddit that go back a little while, and as well as several Facebook posts on their group that say virtually along the same lines. And all of this just kind of adds up to something that to me, again, just screams scam. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope that you have a more robust sense of skepticism when it comes to handing organizations like this your money. And I hope you are safe out there and do your research when it comes to these tournaments and things like that. And I wish you all the best. If you could drop a like or subscribe to the channel, anything is going to help. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next time.